This is the HAVW A6 Juggernaut, also known as the Clone Turbo Tank, built to the Ultimate Collector Series LEGO scale, also can be considered almost minifigure scale. This thing is a beast. Hey guys, it's me David, and I don't know what to say about this other than pure joy. That's what this is. This is pure joy with LEGO. This is the full capability of the wonderful LEGO brick at its truest form. So this is indeed a mock, otherwise known as a LEGO My Own Creation. And this is not my design, so it's actually the Brick Puke's design. That's his username on Instagram and YouTube. I'm going to link both of those down below. There are instructions available to build this massive turbo tank. However, it's kind of strange how you get the instructions. You actually have to email him personally to get the instructions and buy them off him. He's not selling them through a website or anything like that, so it's a little tricky to get your hands on the instructions, but I will leave instructions of how to get the instructions down below. This thing is crazy, guys. It comes in at over 8,000 pieces, I believe. It might be a little under that, but it is a heck of a lot of pieces. I'll tell you that right now. The wheel base alone, I think, is over 1,000 pieces. All 10 wheels is more pieces than a Republic gunship. That's crazy. So, as you can see, there's a lot going on here. Plenty of details. I wouldn't call this a play model at all. It's definitely meant for displaying. It's to go along with your mocks. It's definitely not something you want to start playing, picking up, and kind of tumbling around that you would with maybe the normal Lego set Clone Turbo Tank. This is something for display purposes and for mocks only. So there's a bunch of little features here. The main three are this rotating cannon, which also both of these go 360 degrees, and then the last main function is this right here, the lookout point, which can actually be raised up by turning a gear on the inside, and you have to use a Technic axle to actually plug it in and twist it up and down. An awesome function. You can actually motorize this if you want to. The wheelbase does move. I don't recommend it. The wheels do indeed move, even though they're actually smooth with smooth bricks. They're not using any type of tire piece. They're all 100% bricks, which is pretty impressive actually. The two panels right here open up to reveal basically there is an interior on the inside, but there isn't really anything significant. You can build an interior if you want to like put some seats and stuff. You can do that. But the Brick Puke's design, as of now, does not have any type of interior, whether that's in the main part of the tank or the front or the back. You also notice there's a little type of laser cannon right here in the front with a specialized dish. So this is an 8x8 dish that right now I'm actually using the older light gray color of this dish because there's only one 8x8 dish in light bluish gray and it only came in one set ever, which is actually some DC Wonder Woman set, and so I have that on order, so this will be replaced, hence why it might look a little off color. There's plenty of detail. I would call this around the engine part right here. You'll see that there's like spring axles. They're not functioning, but they definitely look the part, just like how it is on the turbo tank. There's details both on the front and back area where you have these kind of cylinder areas, which are basically the I guess you could call it the spring pistons of how the tank is moving up and down from the Battle of Kashyyyk or basically anything from the Clone Wars. It's a very impressive tank. Lots of cannons, lots of detail. I'd say the Brick Puke did a fantastic job on getting these lines perfect. All of the panels and sections fit perfectly. They don't have barely any gaps or spaces, so if you're a perfectionist like that, you're going to love this model. Now, do I recommend any of you actually try and attempt to build this? Honestly, I'm going to say no. This is something that you have to be a very experienced LEGO builder to build. It's not because the actual building instructions are bad. They're actually pretty good. It's the fact that it's so time consuming. This model, I believe, took me a little over 18 hours to build. And with the piece count of just about over 8,000 pieces, you're looking at a price point based off Bricklink of over $1,000, almost $1,200. So that's significantly more than a Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon. The reason being is there's a lot of parts here that aren't super available in sets today, hence why Bricklink has upped the price, especially the slope parts on the turbo tank tires. There's some other areas that use some pretty unique parts that aren't super available. There's a lot of Technic rods and stuff like that that you need to acquire. So even though this turbo tank cost over $1,000 to build, for me personally, it only cost $800. And I say only cost like, oh, $800, that's nothing. That's a lot of money. I could have gotten a second Millennium Falcon if I wanted to, or a second Imperial Star Destroyer. There was a lot of options, but I love the turbo tank this much to spend $800 to build this model. This is by far one of my favorite Star Wars, models or designs out of all of the designs from all of the Star Wars films. This and the Republic Gunship are some of my all-time favorites. I know that might not be everybody's favorite, especially if you're a fan of the original trilogies, and that's totally fine. But for me, I love a lot from the prequels in terms of the aesthetic designs that the clone troops used. So the reason why I only spent $800 instead of over $1,000 on this is because I actually had 1/3 of the parts. So I had to buy 2/3 of the parts, and that's what was the $800, which, I mean, that should give you an example of how expensive it is to build this model. Like, this is definitely over $1,000 to purchase off Bricklink. So, was it worth it? Was it worth $800 plus what could have been over $1,000? For me, being a very, very big die-hard LEGO Star Wars fan, I'd say yes. I don't recommend any of you really go out and build this because it's so expensive, but for a die-hard Star Wars fan such as myself and someone who loves the clone turbo tank, like a lot, like you really have to like this thing to put that much money down to build this thing. I'd say it was worth it. Maybe that's not everybody's opinion, but this thing's amazing. It looks accurate. It's just about minifigure scale. It's not quite minifigure scale, just a little under it, but it definitely looks like a 1-to-1 replica, perfectly to the design of the real clone turbo tank or the A6 Juggernaut. Now, for those of you who are wondering, I'm definitely going to be using this giant clone turbo tank for a mock. I'm not sure if it's going to be for Mandalore. I'll let you speculate whether it'll be for Mandalore or for a future mock and what that future mock might be. But on that hand, guys, I do want to say thank you again to the Brick Puke for his awesome design here. This is a fantastic creation that he has put together. I can't imagine the work that went into it. It was a very difficult build, but ultimately I'm very happy with the result. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say down below. Give this video a giant thumbs up. I have some awesome videos planned, so hit that subscribe button down below, guys. That's going to be it. Hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.